No matter what it is in life that you want, you gotta go out there and get it. Just don't let it come to a sleeper but a dream. Never give up on your goals, stay focused on you. Focus your view, succeed, cause I'm hoping you do. Keep climbing up the ladder, cause the key to success. Go hard and go home, never settle for less. Life is stress, but we gotta deal with it, homie. Send a prayer to the man to put a shield on it. Work hard for what you get, appreciate what you got. You can always improve, just don't stop. Going for your dream to achieve in your life. Gotta take a chance like rolling the dice. It won't come to you, so you gotta go get it. At the end of the day, add up the digits. Miss Price used to say, if there's a will, there's a way. So I live by it until this very day. I kept on mashing and I never gave up. Me believing in myself is the way I came up.
Don't let them hold you down. You gotta get up. These are your dreams. Never give up. Never ever give up. You gotta keep on hustling, keep on rocking. You gon' make it, keep believing. Never ever give up.
I'ma keep hustling till I'm down in the dirt. Number one rule is my family is first. I know you probably saying this dude trying to preach a sermon. Let me speak cause the streets deserve it. At least they learning about the pain and the progress. Face to face with the strain of the process. Don't live your life like a Loch Ness. Anybody can succeed if you compete in the contest. But if you look and you find less, don't digress. Stick with your plan, it's just times test. And I bet with a little percent.
What's up, team? This is Robert Porter with the I Love San Bernardino County radio show. Ipiani Lockhart is chilling right now with his madre and his aunt, and they are having a wonderful birthday celebration. So we definitely want to send out our birthday celebration greetings.
Birthday.
Yep. To Sonia Lockhart and her sister and
Sandra, happy birthday.
Yeah, that's totally cool. I hope they have a great time. I guess they're going out to eat and have a little fun. So we do miss you. And this segment here with Edwin Johnson from CHORDS is brought to you by CHORDS.
CHORDS Academy of the Arts.
He's with CHORDS Academy, and this is brought to you by Motivational Realizations. There we go.
Motivational Realization. Hey, appreciate you, Yanni. I see you, man.
Yes.
Tell Mom's happy birthday.
Make sure that you know that he wants to sponsor this segment, and
nice.
You know he really does care about you and all you're doing for the community.
Yeah. That's my dog since we was teenagers. We was friends since way back.
And he also, he's like, you got to help your mama. I really think that like you go, mama's birthday, that's a special day. That's more important than anything.
Thanks. Yeah,
and
good dude.
Sonia Lockhart, it happens to be the I Love San Bernardino standout of the week this week.
Okay.
And one of the main reasons is she's one of our number one fans. Mm-hmm. She made this wonderful bracelet for me here. Eric's jealous in there, right? I see you, Mark. We got Mark in there shadowing our engineer, Eric, learning the ropes in there.
I see you, Mark.
Thank you, Sonia, for listening to our show, commenting on things, and boring Ipiani Lockhart, our cool co-host. And I want to say that is brought to you by Ben Chavez with First Lineage Site Services.
Nice.
And he's a cool cat. He really wants to just help the community from the background, doesn't really like the limelight too much, but he really does care, and he wants to put a smile on someone's face once a week, and we've been doing it almost 2 years, dude.
Nice.
2 years. Can you believe, just an idea, like, let's sponsor someone cool, right? You've been a standout of the week at least once, yes? Yeah, and it's gone around, sometimes more than once if you've done something good, and it's just something to say, hey, thank you.
Right.
Thank you, man. Like, because you're not expecting it. Monday morning you'll be sitting there. You never know what's going through someone's head, right? Then you tag them on Facebook. They're like, "Whoa, I got an award! I didn't even know. It's not super cool."
Lift up their spirits.
$1 million, but
lift up their spirits and bring the morale up.
That's what we need to do more of.
Right.
Especially for our local people, because we have a lot of people that do stuff, but to me it seems like awards kind of stay focused in certain areas and certain people. All right.
Okay.
And honestly, I do see that those areas tend to deal with money. So if money is going from one area to another, then awards go around.
So they give it to the people with the money.
Well, that's how the donors kind of thing works, man. I see it.
It's a draw, it's a draw to bring people in for sure.
Yeah. And I watched that whole thing play out when I watched Paul Chabot earn money for his federal campaign, right? Like being a hardcore anti-alcohol dude.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, after about 3 or 4 events, I start seeing alcohol at the event. Right? What does that tell you?
Oh man.
Yeah, what does that tell you? That told me everything I need to know about politics, right? Right? You do what's best to get the money in for the event, even if it's absolutely against it, man. That is weird to me. Like, I can't do that.
Right.
I can't go against my convictions for, to make money.
Right.
Man, if I could.
Yeah, because then if you operate like that, like that's gonna be your draw every time. Like you're gonna have to keep that momentum up.
And it's
Instead of just doing it from a heartfelt, purposeful place.
If you do it from that, people see too, though.
Right. Yeah, because the money comes when you do it like because the money comes, like the money comes when you're doing, like the right thing for the right reason at the end of the day. It's the law of attraction.
And it goes away if you ain't doing the right thing.
Facts.
Yeah. And I've watched it happen over and over. I mean, you see businesses, come and go. It's not always has to do with the quality of the food at a restaurant, right?
Right.
It could be how you treat the community.
It could be the culture. It could be the community. It could be, because I've been to some nice restaurants, like where the food wasn't that good, but the culture was dope.
Yes, and you go
so
back.
It kept me coming back.
I'm not saying it's not good. There's types of food that I like to eat, but only once in a while. Right. Like, so it's not something like Rosa Maria's where I have to go get a chili,
a bean and cheese burrito,
or celebrity steak, or with the Green Shack. I love to go get their signature. Man, that signature is so good. But like those things, I kind of have to have a lot.
Right.
But there's some places like for example, Jenny's that it's totally good, but I only go once a month or here or there. But we still stay local, right?
I've never been to Jenny's.
You never been there? Well, it is in Highland, but I travel to San Bernardino County.
Right. Showing everybody.
Yeah, good stuff there. You like DJs though, right?
Yeah. I mess with DJs.
Yeah. You should.
That's the diner, right?
Yeah, a little diner on 40th.
Oh yeah. That's my spot. Yeah. Yeah,
so
I like
it is right
breakfast.
next to our other sponsor, Celebrities Bar and Grill on 40th Street, right there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Max Zaire and Zoe have been sponsoring this show. 4 or 5 years,
nice.
For forever, man.
That's what's up.
And I appreciate everything he's done for us. And he's had a little rough time over there a little bit, so we need to go over there and spend some money at Celebrities.
Yeah, go spend some money at Celebrities, y'all.
Yeah, go get a drink, go get a steak. They got some good burgers there. So go say hello to Max, and we've been having events there. We're starting with Ice Cream Baby.
Yeah, I saw that event that you posted yesterday.
It had a real Latino flavor.
Nice.
Some incredible mangonadas and some pan dulces, and then of course the aguas frescas. I've got so full, dude.
Yeah, I saw that, man. Like, I saw that y'all posted that. I'm like, it just got to be a little bit more promotion on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the community can know about it.
Yeah, we just kind of started the first one rolling with, just kind of see where it goes.
Y'all had a good turnout for sure.
We're gonna want to build that up, and it gives the vendors a place to just try.
Right.
A lot of times you have these vendors that want to just try, and there's just nowhere to try. So we really need to
even test the waters. That's right.
Yeah, we need more events. That's for sure. Like the ones they thrown out there on D Street. Remember that one event? Whoa!
Yeah.
We shut down the whole street, man.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't, but I went and partied at it.
We actually gonna do that one again. This next year coming up. So we doing a block party again. That's gonna be crazy.
A real block party team.
Yeah, that was
that
was off the chain.
Like the old school ways. I remember back in the days in neighborhoods would on a summer day would shut down the whole street and they'd have a barbecue. Everybody be in the street. Every barbecue in the whole. We just don't do that.
There's some areas in
more,
like above 30th that still do that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a couple people over there that still do that, but it's not as prevalent as it should.
Yeah, we were more like we'll watch the barbecues online.
Right. It's a fear thing too, though. It's definitely a fear thing.
True. Maybe that's another thing. Go meet your neighbors, team.
Right.
I made super effort to meet my neighbors my whole life.
Right.
Now, granted, I did live in my mom's house for most of my life.
Right.
I knew my neighbors my whole life. But every time I knew one would come, we would always go over there and meet them. Right.
Right.
I took this with me to the fraternal life up in the fraternity, and we would throw big parties. I would always go to the neighbors and give them a house plant with our phone number on it.
Okay.
So if there was a problem, they call us, right? Instead of the police.
Right. Instead of
Yeah.
Okay.
So things like that. If you get to know your neighbor, right, and then the food, you start giving your neighbor fruit from your tree or something. I get tacos from one side, ribs from the other.
That's old school, man. For sure.
You got a good neighborhood right there. That on D and
14th right there. Yeah.
It's a little hood, but
Right.
they're good people.
Yeah.
Me and Amy walk down these streets a lot in the evening.
Yeah, I see a lot of people walking down our office building. Just
stroll.
regular people, just riding bikes and stuff like
Families sitting on their porches. I
Yeah.
mean, there isn't a lot of gangbangers or anything like that. Gangbangers really can't afford to be living in a lot of these places. The rents are so high now. It's mostly like 3 families.
Yeah. I can say like the city has evolved a lot as far as like the violence rate goes. Because like I think it was 2014. We was the highest in homicides in the nation.
Yes, that was a scary time.
You remember that time?
Yeah, they were coming in damning everyone's name
and so now from us to go down from that, that's a good thing. But I think people just really focus more on like trying to survive and like take care of their family and stuff like that.
And we see that with the unsheltered situation, and unsheltered and homeless.
Right.
There's there's so many different categories. But there's some people out there that really live in that life, and they live in it and they loving it.
Right.
Like others hating it and having to live it. So we gotta separate the two.
Right.
And then there's all those different categories amongst them. Like some have mental illness. Some, if you gave them a place, in a job, they'd be successful and a taxpayer.
Right.
That should be our goal for these people. Is if they can become a productive tax-paying citizen, then most of the things they've taken care of themselves.
Right. It's the mental too. Like like I feel like even for everybody, like the majority is the mental. How we think and the trauma that that people experience. And then some people are just okay with just, having the bare minimum or just being outside as long as they got a roof over their head because they haven't really had much,
True.
And so because they haven't really had much, it's like, like we become okay with our circumstances, like the places that we live, but not really knowing that we can elevate because people haven't taught us that we can elevate, or like or we haven't really saw people that elevated except for the people that we think we can't be like, if that makes sense. Like,
Yes.
they're doing that, but we can't get to that level.
And
Right?
and that's why I've supported you for
Right.
9 years now.
Yeah, 9 years.
Yeah.
It's been 9
Yeah.
years.
Did you see that photo? Like,
Yeah, I saw that.
Who was that?
That was Mitchell in the
Mitchell.
photo.
And
Yeah.
any possible update on Mitchell or?
Oh, Mitchell's doing good. He's he's still doing music and stuff like that. He's I think he's creating content and he's doing good. I check in on him here and there.
Okay, so this is what I wanted to talk about. Like, Chords, it has been enriching lives for. Is it 10 years or
No, 12 years.
12 years.
Yeah,
12
we've been
years.
doing
Okay.
12 years. Yeah.
12 years. And there's success stories amongst this whole thing.
Right.
You've been about community. You haven't stopped.
Right.
Right. It's not easy a road. I see the struggle, dude. It's you got to ask people for money
Yeah.
to help people. But the only way to help the people on the street, I think, is to prevent others from getting there in the first place. Right.
Right. Taking those preventative measures and that's why like chords is so important. Because we're giving kids hope that kids never will possibly get growing up in their development because the things that they experience with us is passion, is hope, and they get the opportunity to experience certain life experiences like performing and just talking to certain people that's going to uplift them. And so in the process of that, like they're not slipping back because we set a standard for the kids that are in the program, even for the staff, you know, like that are in the program. Like, you know, there's a standard that we have, and our standard is to be able to elevate and use your mind and use your God-given talent to be able to make money, to be able to change how you think, and to be able to help others.
And you've been doing that. How many times you've been on? Like 5 times
on your show? Yeah, like 5 times.
But it's not just Edwin, right? He always brings students, right, to come and perform, which is, you know, we love. But that's why I made this show today.
Right.
I wanted to showcase what you've been doing, and I tell you how proud I am, and I've been watching it all, and to see that these kids, I mean, like, it's not just, he's talking about a team. There's video. There's video of what their work. So tell us a little bit about that process.
Okay, so we like to connect with things that I call tangible products, and so like each of our programs that we have for the kids. Come with a tangible product. For example, like our podcast. We're not just doing the audio on the podcast, but kids are learning how to do the audio, and kids are also learning how to do the video side of it. So now they're learning video treatments. They're learning about different cameras. We recently just got a grant over there at our building to where we're gonna where we're rebuilding our podcast room, and it's about $20,000 worth of equipment that we're gonna put in just for podcasting. And so in that room, our plan is to bring the communities together, you know, like all the different entities that are in our building, like ICUC and stuff like that, you know, to come together to create a channel, a YouTube channel of like positivity where we got, you know,
that's a cornucopia of a positivity over there.
Right. So like people know what's going on, and then we're going to have it on one channel, and then we're going to have the kids talking, you know, about social justice. We're going to have the kids talking about the entertainment industry. We're going to talk about, you know, have kids talking about the neighborhood. And so everything that we do, we try to shift it to consciousness to where like kids are thinking differently, because you can be, you know, I was a kid that was in this community at the age of 16, but I was so engulfed in what this after school program had me do. When I was walking down the street, none of these things really affected me that was around me, because I was so channeled in, I was so tunnel visioned in the projects that I was working on. And so that's why.
Kept your mind occupied.
Right. And like, even though, you know, there was a bunch of poverty, there's a bunch of, you know, physical abuse going on, it didn't bother me, because I knew by 3:00 I was going to be able to go to this after school program and use my creative gifts to impact the community. And so that's what we like to put into the kids. And so recently, because I've been giving my time to kids, you know, like for years, like even from when I was like 15, 16 years old, like I was always like in a leadership position under my mentor, Tom Dolan, who's still my mentor to
shout out to Tom. Good job, man.
Shout out to Tom.
I've never met the man, but I see everything that you post about him, and
solid
we
dude.
We need 50 more like you, bro.
Right. And so even from that, you know, like, you know, just really standing the same path and like really, you know, still having that tunnel vision. I started helping older youth, right? And so from older youth, which is called young adults, I started helping adults, right? And so then that's when I started writing books, because I do have a podcast called Breaking the Guy Code. And so like in this podcast that I have, and like in these books that I write, it really focuses on subconscious programming, because I always say this, like from ages 0 to 7, you know, we've been programmed subconsciously, you know, to think a certain way. So if you think of a computer and like how you get a brand new computer, you got to download the software, right? So you got to download the software, because the computer just doesn't come and works. And
it could be the most expensive computer ever,
but you still got to put the software in.
It just be a paperweight till you add the.
Right. So from 0 to 7, our mind has been downloading these programs. You know, these programs from our families, from our peers, from the streets, from TV, and so in that programming, it becomes toxic for us. It becomes toxic because we're taking in everybody's, you know, environment. Right. So now we're taking in everybody's environment. So if you was around anger, guess how you going to respond in anger? And if you was around, if you was around somebody that was, that was promiscuous, you're going to become promiscuous. If you was around somebody who had these habits, and like these habits are not habits that are strictly told to us, but it's downloaded in our subconscious programming. So 0 to 7, like our brainwaves are in theta, which is hypnosis. And so when you're in the hypnosis state, then you're catching everything. And so then as you get older, you're reciprocating these behaviors. And in those behaviors, now you start to subconsciously act like that. So
what you're doing is you got to change the programming.
You got to change the programming, right? Because look, the subconscious mind is the habit mind. So if I was to ask you a question, Robert, about something, you will automatically know how to respond to it because of your subconscious programming, right? And so when you think about the conscious mind and like the conscious programming, you got to think about a child, because like when like as kids, like we used to play, invincible tea and cookies and invincible food. And it was the best tasting food in the world, but it didn't exist because it was invincible. But in our conscious mind, we felt every bit of that,
Yeah.
Right.
True.
Right. And so we have to reprogram our subconscious, right? And so then we have to teach our conscious to reprogram our subconscious, because the subconscious mind is the habit mind and the conscious mind is the creative mind. So that's why like when we get up from our sleep, like our brain waves are in delta. And so like in those first 20 minutes, we're still taking things in. That's why like people get up and their day is all messed up and stuff like that, because they're thinking about the past, which is very emotional, right? So when they're thinking about the past and like how the emotions are triggering them to where they are, now their day is messed up. Now now they feel some type of way. And so like the most important time in your mind to program your subconscious mind is right when you go to sleep and when you wake up in the morning, because that's when our brain waves start to go lower and lower to where it becomes in a hypnosis frequency, and that's theta. And so that's the same brain waves that we have from 0 to 7. And so that's why always like in the books that I write and like everything that I do is like I try to change people's perspective on how how they see themselves, because that's the key. And I always say like schools needs to put a subject on subconscious programming from elementary, right? Because if you think about the schools in China, they excel tremendously in grades and everything, right? Because their family structure is so aligned, is so set, is so programmed to where they're not acting
focused on education.
Right. They're not focused on their emotions.
Yeah.
They're not focused on little Timmy took the toy from me. No, because they're programming their mental to get them to where only thing they focus on is schools. Out here, we're focused on all these different things. Oh, little Johnny hit me, and then so
we need like a mixture of focus on schools with the art.
Right, because
where that's what China's missing. They're missing that.
Right.
The innovative thinking that comes along with the waking up.
Right.
And
which is the conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like if we imagine if people knew how to control their emotions in certain household settings, because we lack emotional intelligence, right? And so because we don't have emotional intelligence, everything that's wrong bothers us, instead of us really understanding like nothing is neither good or bad. It just is. It's our perception on what is it, if it's good or bad. And
you can control it's hard to control your own mind, but it is possible to train it, right? So you don't have that subconscious immediate reaction.
The subconscious, because look, Robert, look, we think 80,000 thoughts per day. 80,000 thoughts shoot through our head. 95% of those thoughts come from subconscious programming.
And for me, probably 60% are on food.
Right, right. and so it's just like, and so when we, when we start to, understand that the subconscious programming and like how we're programming, like really dive in and like do research, because there's different levels of thinking. There's 3D, they call it third dimensional thinking. Mm-hmm. So in third dimensional thinking, your thoughts are pretty much like it's polarization, bad and good, so that's third dimension of thinking. Mm-hmm. But when you start to go higher to like fourth and fifth dimension, that's when you're controlling your emotions. That's when you lead on love and harmony instead of what you did to me. Mm-hmm. Because I understand you as a person to be who you are, right? And so like, it's up to me to allow you to control me, right? But that takes a level of thinking that takes time. Like I've been studying this for about 2 years, and so they say when you start to think negative thoughts, you use something called autosuggestion. And so when you use autosuggestion, that means that when that negative thought comes into your head, you're immediately reminding yourself like, no, I don't think that, or like, no, I'm not going to judge this person, because we've been programmed to actually start judging people when we first meet them, mm-hmm. or they'll do something and we like, oh, they're like that because of this.
I have a prime example. Mm-hmm. So when I was young, I got arrested, mm-hmm. and I got thrown in the 3rd Street jail over here, right?
You was at Gilbert?
Yeah, dumb. I was too drunk. Yeah. I mean, I was treated badly by mm-hmm. the sheriff in there. Mm-hmm. They beat me up because I was drunk, and so, mm-hmm. but they took advantage of me in the situation with my handcuffs on because I was drunk, right? But they taught me a lesson. They're not, it is their house.
Right.
It's your house. Right. I never won't go there again. I learned a lot, right? So then I had this negative perception of police, mm-hmm. and it didn't matter if you were SBPD or whatever. It was all of them from that one situation, right? Mm-hmm. Where before all my encounters with police were pretty much mostly positive, and the occasional ticket or robbery or whatever at the house if mm-hmm. something happened, right? I had to systematically change my way of thinking away mm-hmm. from that Ice-T, Snoop Dogg way.
It was all in front of you too.
Yeah,
everything.
The way
the police
they were training me to hate law enforcement.
And it was downloaded into the subconscious because of the small experience you had.
Yes.
You understood the validity of that experience. You was drunk, whatever was happening. But I mean, I'm not saying that they should have treated you that way, but just think about how the experience connected to what everybody was saying after that.
Yes.
So you got a big download.
Yeah, it affected me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how I changed it
mm-hmm.
was once I started getting. So this affected me so much that I actually changed away from criminology in college. I said, I don't want anything to do with this.
Yeah.
Right? I went to anthropology. Thank you. Mm-hmm. I'm so glad I did. But anyways, once I got into helping the community, mm-hmm. there is no more staying away from law enforcement. Mm-hmm. They are at every single event, mm-hmm. and they are each an individual person. Right. So I would go up and talk to them, and then eventually some of these dudes are like my friends.
Right.
Yeah. They're not like that stern person that they have to be when they're on full duty, right? They have to have that face or that look, right?
When they're out there doing their thing, that's understood.
Yeah. So it kind of taught me instead of hating, I needed to show love. So I needed to change myself. So there we go.
Yeah, facts. And it's even for me, it's when I grew up, as I was growing up, they told me don't trust the police and don't trust white people. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up, I grew up till I was about 14 years old, not trusting white people, right? Or the police. The police took me a little longer, but like the white, like one of my mentors, like the first guy that I met that really changed my life was a white man, and his name is Reverend David Kalki. Mm-hmm. And this is and I didn't trust him off top. I didn't, but the consistency and me being able to identify something in him, I think he had some jeans and some Timberlands on or something that made me connect with him, made me, realize that I was taught wrong. Then I met Tom, and then I met all these. Then I started doing so many different things in the community. Then I went to school, went to college, and all that. So
you slayed all those prejudices. You slayed them.
Right. And
we all get some of them depending on what it is. My grandfather, mm-hmm. rest his soul, he had a different view of African Americans than I do. Absolutely, right? Mm-hmm. But like some of those things, you see it getting taught, you know. But and then you have to be like, hey, no, that stays in those 60s or 50s or whatever, and they don't come no more, right?
Right, and you know what, like even in my book, you know, I talk about, you know, especially men, because like men, you know, like we're leaders in the community, you know, like we're leaders in our homes, we're leaders in our family, supposedly. Some of us are, like some people are not. But I always say, like, for a man to really, like, you know, like even in my book, you know, Breaking the Guy Code right here. This is your copy, by the way.
Yes, I do.
There you go.
I was here for some of the very first episodes. I actually filmed some.
Yep, you did. And so I always say, like, oh, but it was way different now. It's more positive and conscious. Like when you saw it was more Jerry Springer.
Yes.
It's not Jerry Springer no more. It's more like, you know, because I took a 2-year break to like rebuild the brand.
Okay.
And so the brand that I rebuilt is more conscious. You know, it's more conscious.
I still have fun of those Jerry Springer days.
Hey, it was fun. We used to have a ball in it.
Yeah, we used to do something at COVID. Shoot,
and that was crazy. Yeah, we was doing it like right in COVID. Like everybody used to say.
We didn't know what to do. We were like idle hands,
that was cool.
Man.
Yeah, you connected me with Max too, and in that situation, I remember that.
We were having fun.
Yeah, that was cool. So like this is different. This is more like, you know, like high level thinking.
You're
like
really
more
trying
conscious.
To change someone's lives with this.
Yeah.
Then you were trying to be an entertainer.
Yeah. Last time I was just trying to cause chaos. I no longer cause chaos.
Oftentimes that's what leads to good work.
That was a good drawing though, because some of those same people that I had, you know, that would listen in, they're still locked in with us, but it's just the mission is different. Mm-hmm. And so like my mission is to really like not only like uplift the kids in the community, but like, you know, like uplift our men and women in the community, you know, because, you know, a lot of us men and the women in the community experience trauma. And like a lot of people really don't know how to break from that trauma. So, you know, so their life depicts the trauma that they experience. And so only way, you know, like people say therapy is cool.
It works.
I believe in therapy, but I mostly believe in self-help. I believe that people have the power.
Prime example. I had a holistic course in graduate school, and it was all about teaching yourself how to build your own foundation.
Yes.
And then you build the house after you have a foundation, right?
Yes.
And then you can teach the kids to build a foundation, and you let them build their own house.
Let them build their foundation. Yeah.
And I kept doing that, and all the while my dad had just committed suicide, right? So I was having all these crazy emotions. I didn't know what was going on, but they taught me how to focus on myself and fix that stuff. Right. And they couldn't fix it. The counselors couldn't fix it. The teachers couldn't fix it. I had to fix it.
Yeah, it's in you. You know, because, you know, like I always say, like people got to embrace the God that's in them. You know, you got to embrace the God that's in you, because God gives us everything. And so if you embrace the God that's in you, you have the power to fix yourself. You have the power to change your mindset. You have the power to be able to change the trajectory of your life if you choose to. But it's not easy, because working on the mind is as difficult as it is to go to the gym and get some abs.
Absolutely. This muscle
as difficult as that.
This muscle's almost harder, man.
Yes. And it's definitely harder. It's definitely harder. And so it's I say, like, you know, you in the gym every day, but what are you doing for your mind, for your mental? Are you reading books? Are you doing your affirmations? Are you
mind, body, and spirit?
That's it. Mm-hmm. That's it. Those are the 3 keys right there: mind, body, and spirit. And so, in order for us to protect our mind, we got to be careful for the things that we listen to. We got to be careful for the things that we see and the things that we put into us, because the food that we eat can lower our vibration. And if our vibration is low, we can't connect higher because we're not at that frequency yet. And so, like, even if we listen to certain things like the music, like the rap music that talks about genocide, you know, like all these different things lowers our vibration. And like, even if we're talking about things that we're seeing, if we're watching fight videos on Instagram or like weird videos, like those things can lower our vibration because we're not connecting to the higher. We're not connecting to our higher self, to our higher level of thinking,
or something I've been seeing a lot lately from every angle, negative politics.
Right.
Oh gosh.
Right. And
please get away from me.
Yeah. And like even with that, I feel like if a person increase their vibration, if they raise their frequency to the highest that they can, those things, you're not going to even want to participate in those things. Yeah. I don't participate in gossip. I don't participate in anything negative. You got something to say about somebody, don't tell me. You go tell that person.
Take that drama to the llama.
If you've been deceitful, if you lying and doing all types of weird stuff, I don't need that energy around me because that energy can go off on you. You know, and now you're doing what they doing.
Even if you were just sharing it, right?
Right.
Like, so there's a fine line, right? Mm-hmm. So me being someone who tries to inform the community, right. There are murders.
Right.
There are homeless situations in our city, things like that. So I have to have a ratio of feeding just enough of that.
Right.
But to overwhelm that, you know how hard a work it is, dude?
Yeah, because it exists.
Yeah.
So it does exist. So you putting the information out is cool because sometimes people only see your page. They don't watch the news.
So you have to find the good,
right.
positive stuff. Like,
right.
Oh, you go to Edwin's page. You know you're going to get some positive there, right?
Yeah, right?
Put it all together so people don't just see that negative.
Right.
So I am doing kind of what you're saying. I'm trying to lead by example.
And you have to because people are constantly watching you, especially you being the man in the community that you are, the public figure. I consider you a public figure. That you are in the community, you know, like I go to your page to see what's going on.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Well,
like
I don't have to. You're on my homepage every single time. There's that one right there.
Yeah, you know, so like I know if I'm looking, everybody else is looking, and so like we in this generation, we have to be the generation of change, and so like that's why I don't deal with politics. I don't take sides. I don't gossip. You know, like I stay in my little bubble because it's a lot going on in the community.
With your angle and what Yanni's going with his positivity, and then I see what's going on through the Parks and Rec department in the city, even the school district, right? Right. All these different things. San Bernardino is getting more positive, team.
Right.
It is.
Right.
And I've seen the social media change. There are a few out there that we cannot control, that are constant negative, but even them, I've complained to them, other people have too, that I've seen more positive stories.
Right.
So we can't change this narrative, team.
Yeah, we can. And you know what? The change has already happened, man. Like, you know, like I said, like I used to walk the streets around here, you know, with the prostitutes, you know, the dope heads, all that. Like right here, I remember what is it? Panda Express used to be the Sahara Motel. You probably remember that.
Yes, I remember.
You know, like it used to be like where that senior place is. Like there used to be some homes and stuff right there. So like, you know, like I saw San Bernardino evolve over time, and like I feel like, you know, we're definitely gonna evolve and we're going to get to that place. It may not be in my time, may not be in your time, but the work that they're putting in right now is definitely has been a change. Like whether or not the politics, we went bankrupt and we went stuff like that, but to me that doesn't make the community. Like what really makes the community is the organizations, you know, like the little nonprofits in the community, like the families and the people that continue to pour into the community, whether we got the funds or not.
Yeah,
and so they've been doing that.
The people that leave and come back,
right?
For
sure.
For whatever reason, right? I watch all of them.
Yeah.
Right? I see people disappear for a while, and a lot of people they'll come to one thing, and that they got what they wanted, and they're gone.
Right. Yep.
We have San Bernardino has this way of like forming this strong individual person that thinks they're a one-person army, but then ends up leading a whole army of good people behind them, right?
Right.
And we have a lot of them. That's where I love Yanni's vision, is to try to bring all of those groups together in one, one giant thing. I see you doing that too, on a different level, but like I do see potential in that, and it is happening a little bit more, way more than when we started.
Yeah, it is for sure.
Yeah. That bankruptcy times. Oh, they were cutting to the bone.
Yeah.
There was no events. We had to fight to keep the ho-ho parade. They actually had to make a private one. You know? And it was wild.
Yeah.
So what else? What else we got here? Like, how do we find out more about you?
Man, y'all can check out my book. You can go on Amazon or Barnes and Nobles, and then just type in "Breaking the Guy Code: Diary of a Narcissist." And you can also buy my book Piggy Wiggy on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. And if you want to learn more about the organization, you go to CHORDSacademy.org, CHORDS academy.org, and just check us out. And
oh, you want? All right, here we go. Yeah. If habitual, so this is straight from Breaking the Guy Code. So
go ahead. Give him a bar too.
If habitual cheating is an ongoing issue in your current relationship, it is vital to devise an exit plan. This pattern of behavior is a clear sign of lack of respect, and it is essential to question how much longer you're willing to endure it. While it's true that personal growth can eventually lead to change, especially if he's putting in the emotional and psychological work required, it is also a reality that there are men in their 40s and 50s who continue to engage in this negative behavior.
Come on, let's go. Hey, y'all ready for this book or what? They ready for it.
Now that applies to, like, isn't it over 60% or whatever? I mean, like most.
Yeah, the divorce rate right now is at 64%. That's crazy. Come on.
It's wow. And if you have problems with that, there's all kinds of reasons. You should always be happy. That's what I say. Always,
be happy. Be happy.
But if someone's cheating on you, that is a good reason to let them go. And if you need someone to tell you that, Breaking the Guy,
read the book. And it gets deeper too. So like it talks about, like the psychological stuff in here too. Like the transformation of the mind and purpose.
Nothing more crazy than a breakup, man. Oh my gosh, man. That will mess up your brain.
Tell me about it. I already know. Yeah, for real.
Mess up your brain, your kids' brain, your parents' brains. Oh man, it's like wild, dude. Did you go into any of that kind of?
I went into that, because like I've been divorced before, so like I talk about my divorce, and like what I learned from it and stuff like that, and just the process of healing. Like at the end of the day,
how did you start to heal after your last divorce?
I started to heal. I'm just getting to know myself better from a different perspective, though. Like not from an Edwin perspective, but from a spiritual perspective.
So just ask, were you having a hard time, like just accepting her, like because we discussed that, like how we have to accept how we feel, right? Yeah. Like, so was that it was still hard? You were setting each other off, or?
Nah, it was just like. Sometimes, like I feel like you really got to take time to like get to know your person.
Yes.
Like the person you're going to be with.
That is the key.
Yeah, and really like I'm talking about living apart, all that. I'm talking about really understanding,
you can ask Amy
what makes her tick. Good.
She is a good woman. Like, and we're slowly building together. Right?
Good. Yeah. Definitely got to do that. Like, I mean. Because because then you won't be surprised. I was surprised a lot, and I was just like, hold on, wait. She probably was surprised by me too, but it's just like, that's what I learned.
You eat a burrito,
right? Yeah. And so like that's what I learned was like.
Did you guys miss that joke? You guys missed that joke. That was They didn't miss the joke, dude.
I just feel like people got to get grounded spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you connect into your, to your spirit, and like, like when you're mentally healthy and you're physically healthy,
yes.
Like that will eliminate certain issues.
So I had a fiance for a little bit, and then I had the worst relationship.
Why is that?
It work. I didn't know them, just like you said, right?
Nope, you didn't know her.
And it hurt, like it went bad, and like it really was emotional for me, and it hurt me. So like, but it took a long time for me to find myself again before I could. You have to love yourself
first.
Yeah.
Listen, fellas, ladies out there, look, you have to love yourself first. Like, be your biggest fan, be your biggest hero, because
your biggest promoter.
Yes, be your biggest fan, be your biggest promoter, be your biggest hero, because no one can come in and tell you who they think you are if you already know who you are. Come on, you gotta know who you are.
Self-esteem just doesn't come.
Right. You gotta build it.
Yeah, some narcissists, but they don't really have self-esteem.
Nah.
If it all gets taken away, they have a huge crash
barrier.
and burn.
Yeah, it's a barrier.
But if you earn it, if you earn your self-esteem by learning to love yourself.
Oh my God. Not relying on like a lot of people don't like to spend time by themselves. Like sometimes we're our worst enemy when it comes to spending alone time by ourselves. when that's the best time to get to know yourself and recreate yourself so you can be the best version of yourself to whoever you're going to be with. In them alone times.
Don't let those anxieties during your alone time, like anxiety hasn't happened yet.
Right.
You're just worrying about something that ain't even occurred.
Right. And then people always feel like when they by themselves, they got to do something. But that's a deterrent from them thinking about what they need to fix in themselves. It's okay to sit there and process what you need to process.
Maybe even write some
Journal, read. Like, man, like.
Poems are incredible. Yeah.
Right. I'm really big on personal development. Like I read every morning. I work out every morning. You know, I write every morning. Like, you know, like I do my gratitudes and stuff like that.
He has rest days. Everybody has rest days. You have to have a rest.
Yeah, weekends is normally the rest day when I'm leaving celebrities or something.
Yeah, but like on the rest day doesn't mean you rest everything. You can still do your journaling and take a break off with exercise or whatever.
Right. Yeah, I feel like my rest days is like one day a week because like Saturdays I get up and I jump on my bike and ride in Fontana and stuff like that.
Mine's tomorrow. Today's my major work day.
Nice.
Tomorrow rest day, but my rest days I like to write. So I don't know.
Yeah. Everybody needs a rest day because because people always say like, you got to stay productive, you got to stay busy, but that busyness can be empty because it's like you're not even doing nothing in that busyness. You're just being busy and it's not even intentional.
I look at it like
you know what I mean?
You can't leave an engine running on high all the time.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes you got to let it rest.
Yeah, you got to let it rest. Right? Yeah. Facts.
And
I like that.
A way to do that, I often do, is video games, old ones.
Yep.
It just lets the mind go away. I don't, not violent ones or anything like. Oh, I guess
I like to watch rap battles. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Because rap battles is like, like even though it's a lot of profanity and all that, but like, you have to think about because they're talking about like metaphors. You got to understand what they're trying to say.
Yeah, just like poetry.
It's like that's what it is. It's like poetry. So like I watch rap battles on my free time.
Oh man,
it's something that I love.
Yeah. That's what you need to find. You got to find that one thing that you do by yourself,
right? That
you enjoy, and like, well, not that team, but like,
safely. Gotta make sure that is safe.
You can keep doing that if you want.
Right. Yeah. Not for real though. And like the platform that you bring, Robert. That you always brought. It's just a great opportunity. For people to be able to follow you and just see the great works that you do.
San Bernardino created me, so I hope that it could create, and not like me, but people that love their community as much as I do.
Yeah, because I remember when I first met you, I used to see you all the time going ham at the city council meetings.
Oh yeah, I totally.
Robert was on one at the city council meetings.
Dr. Hill
that changed a lot.
Me.
Yeah, that definitely changed. Yeah.
Once I won, or we won.
Yeah.
Once the cannabis situation was changed and people weren't going to jail for a plant.
Right.
I felt it was more important to help San Bernardino at that point to focus, right? I was also looking for tax revenue.
Right.
Now, granted, we haven't got that yet, but they have to pay the state or they will have their license taken away. Right. So the state will eventually pay us that money.
Right.
And it's not going into the gray market, right? So that was that main thing. Now, back to loving San Bernardino and the county, trying to bring us all together, trying to showcase incredible work,
right?
Like CHORDS. How many people have you helped at CHORDS so far?
Man, we probably provided services in 12 years to about 25,000 kids countywide. Wow. And that's not even talking about Riverside County. That's just San Bernardino County alone in our existence.
And here's a little example for me. I know I talk about myself sometimes, but like Paleo Days, like sometimes I'll see a kid that went through one of those programs like 10 years ago and they're adults now. And they still remember. Do you get that kind of?
All the time. You know what? Because like the reason why we get that response is because like these is opportunities that they probably would never gotten if they wasn't in the city. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, with your paleo stuff that, that you do, that's life changing. Because I'm sure they haven't even forgot the principles that you told them about.
It's fun digging for bones, but also like you were talking about having a final product, right? that's something they can take with them for the rest of their lives and be like, hey, you know, I made a video.
People still watch our videos. Kids still hit me up on Instagram like, hey, remember I was in your program when I was 10? They're like 18 now. I'm like, no. But, hey, I appreciate you.
Yeah,
and it's nothing personal, but I just don't.
I've run into a lot of teachers that don't remember me anymore. But you still got to give them the love that whatever that thing that they did to change your life that made you remember them.
Yeah, and then that makes us keep going. Like, you know, that shit. Like, you know, when the kids tell me that, you know, they love the program and stuff like that. Like, that's why I keep going.
And it's fun to watch them have fun, in my opinion.
And speaking of that, August 15th, we're premiering our Cooley Ranch Kindness Ambassadors video at Colton Joint Unified School District.
Okay.
It's an awesome video. We had about 15 to 20 kids that we was working with up there. And what was great about the video is that all the school board members came to our video shoot, and they're all in the video. And so they're going to. So we're premiering it at the school board meeting on the 15th at 5:00. So Colton.
Totally awesome.
Colton is amazing. Hey, I mess with Colton. Shouts out to Colton.
Yeah, San Bernardino County.
Yeah.
Shout out to The Empire. Thank you for the
Empire
shirt.
Podcast. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I heard it.
Really cool. I follow him online.
Yeah. Shouts out to y'all.
Good man. Antonio D. Miles. Good dude. I wanted to show, like, you know, he gave me this shirt, and I've worn it twice on the show. I will show it again. Please follow him on Instagram.
Yeah.
Have you been on the show yet?
I think Terrence is on the show before.
Yeah, I have not made it yet. Like, he's asked me about it, but we're gonna. Hopefully, I'll watch this show and he'll see you and work it out. Like, I just wanted to mention that he's been doing some incredible work with the kids over at the Coma Unity Center with the video and filming.
Dope.
Right.
Okay.
So it might be someone you might want to connect with.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's also been out interviewing homeless individuals on the street, and I used to do that back in the day myself, and I can't think of a better way to get their story out. And I wanted to say that we appreciate you, dude, for doing that hard work.
Good stuff, man. Keep it up, man. I seen his work before, so that's what's up.
So always putting out for the youth, man.
That's what it's about.
Yeah. Thank you for what you do, by the way. You're youth to me, dude.
Man, you know this ain't gonna stop. Man? I'm 41.
41? Ah, man, I still got quite a few on you.
I'm 41.
Yeah, but I 48 years young, and loving my life, and don't know if I loved being an archaeologist and working that hard life all the time, but finding what I do now, I'm so glad that I can
tell you love what you do now.
Yeah, you find what you do. I know I'm not rich, team, but like I love what I do. So like
that's all that matters. As long as you love what you do, you know everything is going. God is going to provide the provision for the vision at the end of the day.
And money,
and He's providing
take
for
money
you.
with you, man.
Can't
take nothing with you.
Okay, you're going by yourself.
And in fact, it could take taken away at any time. So enjoy what you got right now, huh?
Yeah. Be happy, stay present, stay in the moment. You know, don't worry about the past because that means you sad and you emotional. If you worry about the future, then you have a lot of anxiety. Just stay present. Yeah. Enjoy what surrounds you. Smell the roses. Hug the trees. Say hi to the cats and birds.
Do some art. Make some music.
Make some music.
Yeah. Enjoy yourself. Get on Amazon and go buy Breaking the Guy Code.
Let's get it. Yep.
Yeah. This is Robert Porter. We missed Jay Piani and Edwin Johnson Jr. from CHORDS. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
This is the I Love San Bernardino County radio show, and we all out of here.